The first stage of preparing your spinach for freezing is to remove the stalks from the actual leaf section. So these were part of the bag of spinach I picked yesterday, and I'm just going to go down and pull off any stem from the spinach. Now the reason I'm doing it in the garage is obviously it's quite messy. Any duff leaves go back down to the compost down the allotment. Some of these leaves are quite small. So I'll carry on doing this until I've stripped all the stems off of the spinach. Now you don't want to see me doing that because it's boring. I've taken all the stems off of the spinach, and part two is to chop these leaves up, give them a good wash before I cook them. Right, so I'm filling up the sink with cold water. I'm going to grab a handful of spinach, like so, roll it up, then using a large knife just go through and shred the spinach, just shred it up and drop it into the sink. Keeping my eyes out for any slugs. I did find several very small slugs when I was taking the stems out of the spinach, and I suppose they could be babies, little baby slugs. Right, you don't need to see me chopping all this spinach up, so I'll turn off and come back later. The next stage, all the spinach has been chopped, is to give this a good 2 or 3 washes. To get rid of any dirt and any wildlife that may still be in the spinach. Now, dirt and grit will fall to the bottom of the sink, so it's best to lift the spinach out and I will do this 3 or 4 times. I must remove the spinach, put clean water into the sink, wash again, and I'll repeat that process, say 3 or 4 times. So I'll come back when I've finished washing the spinach. You can now see the colour of the water after the first wash. So I'll keep repeating the process until the water's nice and clear. Right, the next stage is to cook the spinach. Now when I freeze my spinach I actually cook it completely, then put it into portion sizes and freeze it, and then to reheat the spinach when I want to use it I gently heat it up in a little bit of butter, no water. So I'm getting the pot ready. I have a little bit of butter in the bottom of the pot, and I'll put about about 1/4 of an inch of water in the bottom of the saucepan, and then I'll cook the spinach in that, and as it cooks it wilts down and water comes out of the spinach, and it shrinks, and hopefully I should be able to cook all that spinach in that one pot. So for now I'll just turn the heat on and I'll give that a few minutes for the butter, or about a minute for the butter to melt and then the water to boil, and I'll start adding the spinach. So I'll come back when I start doing that. Right, the water is now boiling and the butter is melting, so I'll start adding the spinach. What I'm really doing is just wilting down the spinach. And I'll carry on stirring and adding more spinach until it's completed cooking. All the spinach is now in the saucepan, and I'll carry on stirring until it's cooked. After about 3.5 to 4 minutes cooking, it's now almost ready. I'll just give it a few more minutes and then I will drain it off remove any excess moisture. And I'll come back when it's cooked. Well, it's been another minute or so. Let's see if it's cooked. I'll give it another minute and then we'll strain it. It's now cooked sufficient, so I'm going to remove it from the heat and put it in a colander to drain off any liquid. If you remember, I only put about 1/4 inch liquid in the bottom of the saucepan, so I'll just turn it off. If I pull it to one side, you can see how much liquid is in there now. So we're going to strain all that off and allow it to get cold. Normally when I blanch green items like runner beans, broad beans, peas, I always refresh, can only part cook them and then I refresh them. But the spinach I won't refresh, I let it get cold on its own because I don't want to add extra water to the spinach. So I'm just going to go and take it across the kitchen and start to drain it off. So here we are, I'm going to use this colander and tip the spinach so the water comes out. The glasses are steaming up, I'll take them off. The water looks disgusting, but that's just the green coming out of the spinach. Right, so I'll leave that spinach to drain for a while and to cool off. I might place it in trays to cool off quicker once most of the moisture's gone. It's quite warm, but I've got asbestos hands, so it's not too bad. Anyway, let that drain down and I'll come back when it's cooled off slightly. Now it's cooled down slightly, I can just about handle it. I'm going to weigh them out into portions of about 3 to 4 ounces. I'll do 4 ounces I think. That's 3 3/8. 4. And then just put them in rough portions. Still quite warm, but it'll cool down quicker if that's it. You see, it's still quite hot. Right, and it's the last one. It's a wee bit small, so I'll just take a little bit from each of these. That's it. So that's actually given me 12, come round a bit, 12 by 4 ounce portions. And I'll just leave those to cool down a bit more. So I've got 12 4 ounce portions. I'm just waiting for those to cool down a bit more, and I'll give them a good squeeze and bag them up individually, and then put them into a large freezer bag, put them in the freezer until I need them. Be back in a minute. Right, these are quite dry, so I'm just going to bag these up and put them in the freezer for a couple of hours to get cold, and then I'll put them all together in one large freezer bag. There. And I'll go and take these, put them in the freezer to get cold. So the reason I do that is so that they stay in their shape, and then when I put them in a large freezer bag, they're easier to get out. So they'll go to the freezer, chill them down for a couple of hours, then I'll put them in a large freezer bag, and that's it. When I come to cook them or reheat them, I'll take a small frying pan, little bit of butter in the bottom, add the spinach, reheat it gently in the butter and then eat it. So it won't get anywhere near any more water. So I'll reheat it in butter. That's why I'm so slim and lovely. Good looking. Hope you enjoyed this short video. I'll see you again soon.